Hi, lovely family. Welcome to your favorite cooking channel. Today, we're going to be making some beef. Yes, we're not going to be cooking before we fry. No, we're just going to marinate it and then we're going to do the pan grill. And then there's an optional fry option as well if you want to go with that part too. So, yes, we're going to be making some beef meat. Yes. I've got meat here. I've got garlic, and I've got mixed spice, I've got iodinated salt, I've got chopped onions, I've got ginger, then I've got my palm wine. So that's my special twist today. I'm going to be cooking with some palm wine. I'm going to use it to marinate the meat. So you need to get a very thin slice of meat. Usually, the best is like an inch or 1.5 worst case. But in Ghana, when you go to a butcher's place, you won't get it like well portioned and things. So some parts will be heavy, some parts will be light. So the trick I do is that I put it into a Ziploc bag. Then I just you can use a hammer or a tapoli. So I use a tapoli here just to flatten it up and then get it like even leveled kind of vibe. So the best part of meat to use if you want to do grills or barbecue or steak is the part where there's no bones and usually there's less fat. But this is Ghana for you. Oko Butcher's house, you may not really get it like that unless you are going to the mall. And not everybody is close to the mall. So please, let's go the simple way. So yes, so all I'm going to do is to pour my spice, garlic, my onion, ginger blend, salt. Then I add in the palm wine. Then my beef goes in there. And I just marinate it. This is a simple marinate for your beef. And cooking with alcohol, yes, you see it a lot in the foreign cuisines, but it's something which is very nice and we can do it here. Wine may be expensive here, but palm wine is very cheap here. And palm wine is even healthier and it's nutritious and it has more aroma and taste and vibe to your cooking. Now, the beauty about cooking with alcohol is that it helps breaks down the protein a bit, especially when it comes to meat. And so instead of you getting very hard meat when you cook it raw, when you add the alcohol, it breaks it. So it makes it softer and easier to cook. So don't be worried. By the time you're done with this, 5-10 minutes, when I'm not being, and your meat is not going to be raw, your meat is going to be well cooked all through. That's the beauty about cooking with alcohol. So you may not have wine at your disposal, but palm wine is like a great substitute and it gives you more flavor and taste. Once you just do that, put it into your fridge overnight, or you can let it sit down for an hour or two, maximum like 6 or even overnight or something. Then you just take it out. Then you can just start your pan grilling. Now you have the option to also probably take off like most of the water or the marinade around it. But I realized it was going to be too much work. Plus, at the end of the day, it has really gone inside. So it's going to take a while before you can drain everything off. So I just moved straight to my grill pan. I just poured in some oil. Then I just went on to pan grill it. Now I have this thing I do with pepper and oil. Usually I just soak the powdered pepper in oil for like 2 months or something. That takes out the pepper flavor into the oil. And that is great when you are doing barbecues or steaks or pan grilling any meat or protein, whether it's seafood, proteins, or any type, they work perfectly. So once that goes in, I just put my meat in there and then I'm just going to be allowing it to cook. I think ideally you need like 5 minutes on both sides to get it like medium done. That is the normal thing. And if you want it very cooked, like 7 minutes, 7 minutes. Some would go below that, like 2 minutes or 1 minute. That will give you that rare kind of thing where the inside is all pink and all those things. But please, my stomach and my Ghanaian stomach, Ghanaians, we like our meat well cooked in there. So you'd want to really do this like minimum 7 minutes, 7 minutes, and you turn it over as well. Now, my salt wasn't enough, so I ended up putting a little bit of salt on it as I was frying it as well. So as it's cooking, you realize that because there's a lot of juice in there is going to be oozing out as it's cooking, which will be coming into your pan. And we're going to be maintaining it because we're going to be keeping it on around it even as we work on it. If you want it to go faster, you can decide to cover it up and then let it cook up. That is if you want it to cook very quickly. Now, because this is not the perfect portions for um the meat, you realize that some parts had a bit of oil or fat in there, and so it shrinks it a bit. There's I don't know what to call it, maybe muscles or something. So it kind of shrinks it a bit. But if you're using well cut, maybe at the supermarket or something, you would get good results with your beef as well. So I just spread the pepper base onto it from the pepper oil just to give it a bit of peppery kick. You know, in West Africa, we like a bit of peppery kick in our meals, and this is one simple way to go about it. Or you can put in fresh pepper or powdered pepper or cayenne, whatever you want to use. It's good for you. So you just need to let the meat cook by itself, and then once you see it browning, you can just flip it over to help the other side to cook as well. And so this is, like I was saying, if you want it to go very faster, sometimes you can just use the lid to just cover it up. Yes, that helps it cook quicker as well. Especially because I marinated it for long, and this is alcohol, like aerarium. So I wanted it to be a bit dry, not too moist as well. So I just had to just let it sit in there for it to really like cook up properly. So around this point, it was virtually done. You could see from the look in there that the meat was done. Now, for some people who may have a bit of phobia, you can try to fry it after just to get the outside very crisp because some like in Ghana, a lot of folks like their meats very kind of dried and they don't want the outside to look, how do I say? I don't know how to say, but most people like their meats to be a bit overly cooked kind of in Ghana. So if you're cooking for a Ghanaian audience or if you, even if you're doing it at home and you don't want to, you're not too sure whether the inside is well cooked, you can decide to deep fry it. But the oil has to be very hot so that you don't end up overly cooking it as well. So you just do this for like 1 minute, just turn, just for it to brown up, and then you are good. But after the grill part in the grill pan, it is done. That is the thing. So your maximum 10-15 minutes, your meat is already done because this is thick portions, yes, in there. The frying part is very, very optional. I just wanted you to have a look at it. So just in case you don't want to steam your meat before you fry, you can try to pan grill it before you fry. That's another option as well. And if you want to maybe in your stews or want it to last long, you can equally do this as well. So this is my simple twist to making meat, and I did this with chicken as well. But the chicken, it was just steamed with the palm wine marinade, and then it was fried. You should check that recipe out as well. It was very, very good. So once it's done, the best thing to do is to let it rest for like 5-10 minutes before you cut, so that you maintain the juices in there. If not, as you're cutting, some of the juice and things will be going, and you realize the inside was still pinkish a bit. So that wasn't bad. The only thing was, this very day I shot this, Charlie, I was traveling and I needed some quick fix in the car for the travel, and I didn't have the luxury of time. If I delayed, I'll be in trouble. So I had to just quickly do this quick, and then let it serve. So the best is when you're done, let it rest a bit before you cut. But then if you're pressed with time, don't worry, cut in. Some of the juice will come out, but yes. So this is the simple twist to making your meat. Don't always do your meat one way, boring. Please add some twist and make use of the local ingredients we have here, like our palm wine, which is very, very good when it comes to meat. You don't always have to cook your meat for 5 hours, 6 hours. You can try to use a palm wine, which will make your cooking time less, give you more taste, give you more flavor, and then you enjoy your food moment as well. So as I see in the next food video, do live life to the fullest, be joyous, be merry. Lots of love from my team and I. Mwah.